Hey, it's Patti Scharf, CPA and co-founder of Catching Clouds, the leader in e-commerce accounting. And welcome back to our Saturday Slowdown. It's the day I like to remind everybody to work on their business and not just in their business. All right, so today I want to talk about entrepreneur burnout. This is, I think, my biggest hot button issue. Man, I've got a soapbox so big on this one. And I think it is a problem that runs rampant. I don't think it's completely avoidable, but there are some ways that you can kind of mitigate the pain and anguish that comes along with being an entrepreneur. So I just want to talk about that a little bit today. So Catching Clouds is not the first company that I've built. I've been through this rodeo a few times, and I think that being an entrepreneur is really a massive roller coaster. It's like sheer terror and sheer exhilaration and really not too much in between. You know, it's just this constant activity of high highs and low lows. So just this morning I was listening to the Cloud Accounting podcast from Blake Oliver and David Leary, and if you're not listening to it, actually you really need to be listening to it because it's really great stuff. But in any case, they had on Guy Pearson from Practice Ignition, and he had recommended the book The Hard Thing About Hard Things. I think that's what it's called. Yes. And David Leary, I think, had read it too and said some good stuff about it. So I downloaded it on Audible this morning and started listening to it. I'm like this far into it, but it really kind of reinforced what I think, which is that this journey for entrepreneurs, it's just so tough. I think especially in this day and age when everything is posted on social media and people have this tendency to compare themselves to everybody else. But you know, on social media, it's all just like the shiny, best and brightest stuff that they can come up with to put on social media. It doesn't really necessarily tell you about their actual experiences being an entrepreneur. So I hope that my Saturday videos are a little bit more authentic in that regard. But I will tell you, I've worked with so many entrepreneurs, and I've been one myself. It is really, really hard, especially in the beginning. I remember that when I first started out, and you know, Scott and I had just, like, literally what happened was we started this business, and he was working a full-time job. I was working in a tax practice. I went and sold my tax practice, and literally the same day, the garage door was closing as I was pulling out to go hand off my tax practice to somebody else. Scott got a call that he got laid off from his job, and we were like, oh no, oh no, we better make this puppy work, man, because it's all we got now. And luckily I think it's worked out for us. But you know, in those first few months or even first few years, it was just so hard. It was a grind. It was painful. I remember in, I think, December of 2013, I literally was at a violin recital for my daughter, and I was in the audience, and I was sitting there with Scott, and I was like, I quit. I am quitting. And he's like, you can't quit. I'm like, oh yeah? Watch me. Because I was so fed up with it, you know? And Scott was like, okay, well, let's circle the wagons, you know. And we hired our first person, and yeah, I'm glad I didn't give up in that moment. But it's just, the journey is so soul-sucking at times, and then it's so exhilarating at other times, you know. And so I think you need to do what you can throughout the process to just take care of yourself, you know. Have some self-love. Treat yourself when you hit those small milestones. Like, I remember the very first hire that we ever had was getting somebody to clean our house because that's all we could afford, but it made a world of difference. And we still have somebody coming in to clean our house, and every single time she shows up, every month, I'm like, yay, this is so nice. It is so good to have a clean house that I didn't have to clean because I'm working so hard in every other respect. So, so I guess just celebrate the small victories. Pretty soon, you know, you'll be bigger and bigger and bigger, and you'll be able to celebrate more and more. I think, you know, now every single day, not a day goes by that I'm not super grateful for the team that we have, that everybody works together so well, and I feel like I can trust them with Catching Clouds, whether I'm there or not. Scott and I are taking off for a few months, and we'll talk more about that in upcoming videos, but we're gonna just kind of take a break for a bit and let them run the show, and I have every confidence that they're going to continue to do a great job. So I guess if you're going through this journey and you're burnt out or whatever, do what you can. Go get a massage, or just go for a 10-minute walk, or by all means get some sleep, you know, because this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not ending anytime soon. So do what you can to take care of yourself in the moment. Ignore how everybody else is telling you to work harder, 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 faster, faster, harder, faster, because it's just gonna like drive you into the ground. You gotta work in sprints, then take some time to rejuvenate. Work in sprint, take some time to rejuvenate, you know, and just do the best you can. And I guess that's it. So take care of yourselves, and if you like this video, please like, comment, and share. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll catch you later.